To give batters a different look, pitchers throw a changeup.
Your idea of a different look is sunglasses.
That's true. But La Quinta Inns and Suites is really taking the different look thing to a new level.
Definitely a major league makeover, starting with a bolder, brighter lobby full of comfortable spaces to let you settle in.
Or chill out in front of a big flat screen like Wingo would.
Oh, you know it. It's a changing La Quinta look to help you get in the zone and look sharp when you hit that big meeting.
Prepare to win at business with La Quinta Inns and Suites.
Book now at LQ.com.
Guillermo, do you stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning watching your Marlins throw it away in San Diego? Do you stay up?
Literally throw it away?
Yeah, literally throw it away. That's why I did that. I'm a writer.
No, I missed the end of that one. I saw this morning. I mean, what are we going to do? Ziegler's having not a great year. I feel bad for him a little bit, but not really. Because he's old, so I feel bad because he's old. But, I mean, he's getting paid a ridiculous amount of money that no one was offering him. Why do we have him? Like, I'm just thinking aloud now. Why did we sign him to a 2-year deal when no one was offering him that and he wanted to retire? Like, why did we think that that was the missing piece that we needed?
I don't know what they're doing with any of their veteran players. Yeah, you keep Real Muto and Bohr because they're cheap. But Cameron Maben, I don't. What's the point of that? He's played for a dozen teams.
I doubt they thought Ziegler was the missing piece.
I'm with you.
To his larger point,
no one sat there and said Ziegler is the missing piece.
No, but they like talked him out of retirement and they signed him to a 2-year deal. They did the same with Tazawa just because they couldn't get Kenley Jansen. So they decided, we'll just throw money at any closer. Well, let's sign all the other closers out there.
I don't know enough about what the salary cap limits are. Like, I don't know what the floor on these things can be. Does it have anything to do with that? Because I do know there are revenue sharing stipulations that you've got to spend so much, but I don't know what any of the details are on that. I'll start paying attention to that stuff when the Marlins are relevant again.
I mean, I think they're like middle of the pack, or they were last year. They were like middle of the pack
just because of all those dead contracts they got.
Stanton, right? Yeah. This is honestly like their 4th or 5th highest payroll ever, and it's just there's a lot of bad money in there.
But bad money that they inherited, right? How much bad money is it that they've spent?
Oh, no, they've spent no money. Who did they sign? Cameron Maben is all that they've done. And then they just have bad contracts that they've had. But their payroll's not that low. Like, you'd be surprised. They're close to a $100 million payroll.
But is there a ceiling or
there is no ceiling and there is a floor. There is a floor. I don't know why you're asking about the ceiling.
I should have known that. Sorry.
So once again, we're blaming the last regime for something that...
Well, that's the thing that's happening around here. You blame the guy who takes office. Like, that's what Jeter inherited. That's what Jeter underestimated. Yes, they've got a lot of bad contracts on the books. And their contracts, they're giving them nothing. It's not even like they're just bad contracts and it's Stanton. It's bad contracts giving you nothing.
It really tells you a lot when Billy says this is the 5th highest payroll in club history, and it's good for 24th in the league. The league average this year is $138 million team payroll. The Marlins at 24 are at $97 million.
But who's getting that? Stanton's getting some of that. They're getting him to play for the Yankees, right?
Chen.
Or is that...
No, they're like Ziegler and Tazawa are getting like $17 million combined or something. Like, they're getting a lot of money. Like, crazy money. And Chen's we're not even in the bad Chen years yet. Those are still to come.
Chris, you're making those sounds on those two guys. Chen's contract's worse. Chen's contract was one of the weirdest contracts that they have ever signed.
He had a big year the year before.
No, I know, but there wasn't some great competition to give him $80 million.
The total salary for their highest paid player is Starlin Castro. He's at 10.8, and right behind him is Chen at 10, and then Ziegler at 9, and then it drops off pretty dramatically to Justin Bohr, who's right around 3.5.
That's another one, though. Castro, why?
Well, came back in the Stanton deal, right?
Yeah, we just ate that money.
But get rid of him. Why? You don't
He's your best hitter, I mean.
Really, Stugotz?
He is.
He is.
He's their all-star.
I'm not disputing that he's their best hitter. I'm saying that doesn't mean anything to be their best hitter. And I think I might dispute that he's their best hitter because I'd rather have both their catcher and their first baseman because they slug. They slug more.
Right.
Although Castro did bat cleanup somehow for the Yankees last year a bunch of times. Don't ask me how the hell that happened.
He's in the 3 spot. I mean, that's your best hitter, is it not?
Well, by acquiring him and hanging on to him, you've probably increased your value when in the offseason everyone knew that they were just going to send him off. The offers probably weren't great. Now, by the deadline, you have, hey, an all-star. You can probably get more for him.
Fair point. Good point.
Real Muto's their best hitter, and nowadays, Stugotz, you bat your best hitter second.
Oh.
It's like the new way of doing things.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, in the baseball where, relievers are starting games and, you're wasting them in that. And just this, everybody thinks they're so smart in baseball. Why can't we just keep doing things the way people do things? This all started with that damn Tony La Russa who ruined baseball with all his situational pitching and let me have 17 relievers a game. The guy ruined baseball. Is he in the Hall of Fame? He shouldn't be. He should be in the Hall of Shame. Baseball. Wow. Tony La Russa.
The Yankees, you see the other day, the Yankees, they don't need anything from Stanton. The Yankees you should have done that in Stugotz's voice. You just petered out into becoming Stugotz, but you did Stugotz in your voice.
Well, I didn't think when I started that I'd have so much freedom to just go off on Tony La Russa, and then I ran out of things to say.
Yeah, that happens to you a lot, it seems like.
I have to make a correction. Castro, among the active players, is the highest paid, but don't forget about Martin Prado, who made a valiant return to the lineup before tweaking that hammy again. I think just jogging to first. Yeah.
I was so mad last year. Like, you'd think you'd be happy when Prado came back. I was so mad when he hurt himself for the 4th time last year. They were about to trade him, I thought, to the Red Sox. That's what I was reading. Is they were about to move him, and then right before the deadline, he gets himself injured. And now it's just every year he's going to be hurt, and every year we're going to be stuck paying him.
He's a good player when he's healthy.
Which is never. He's never healthy anymore.
I know.
Is he done? I was reading a thing where they were could this be the end of his career, this hamstring injury?
I'm not a doctor. I mean, he's been a very good professional for a long time, and he's been getting hurt a lot the last
this
couple
year
of
he wasn't that good. He was 180. That's why I wanted Hanley. Hanley would have been so fun replacing him with Hanley. But we have Magic back. Did you see Magic hit it inside the Parker the other day? JT Riddle, for those who are not familiar with his Magic nickname.
Prado's only on the 10-day disabled list.
That's gonna
Oh, nice,
out.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't even know there was one of those.
It's new.
There is now, yeah.
And they keep putting guys on it, and then you're on it for 10 days, and then you're on it again for 10 days.
That's another thing.
It's
We need to
weird.
be honest.
Well, they could double
with these
down. They
DL
can give you
stints.
20 days. You're right. Yeah.
We need to be honest with these DL stints because I have these people in fantasy. I had Madison Bumgarner, and he was on the 30-day DL. We're 90 games into the season. When is he going to start pitching? Can we just put people on the 30-day, 60-day forever? Keep extending it out? Enough of that.
I have to stop everyone here because when we're 6 minutes into the extravaganza and we're talking disabled list.
Oh, man.
That's a good conversation.
I feel like we should all go to the penalty box. Mike, I feel like we should all go to the penalty box and you should just play music for 2 minutes. I'm not even kidding you. Let's all get up. Let's everyone get up and go to the penalty box. We were 5 minutes into the show.
You're right.
Just pick a song, Mike, and play it for 2 minutes, and then we'll come back in here in a second. But what I was beginning to say is that the Yankees the other day had a game in which they had 5 errors, 17 strikeouts, and they won.
By 15?
They didn't just win. They beat the Astros.
Oh.
The Astros, who are pretty good, have the best ERA in the league. Let's go to the penalty box.
All right.
Speaking of Chen, he's been surprisingly good lately, and I'm in this predicament where my pitching in fantasy is so bad that I have him starting today. It's risky.
Wow.
But it could pay off. 3 good starts in a row.
Desperate times, man.
Yeah.
Everyone else gets 2 minutes again, just because
What?
Billy did that. Yeah, 2 minutes again for everybody because you came back with Chen talk. I started with Marlins talk. Our punishment wasn't strong enough before. What?
I don't know what you want anymore.
Okay, you never have, Stugotz. It's not what you want.
Does Wade get a 4th ring if the Cavs win a title?
Oh, wow, what a great topic.
That is
That's
a
actually
good
really
question,
cool.
yes.
I think he does.
He should go by 4.
Yeah, no, he should go by 4.
People will forget, like, down the road.
Will they?
4-time champion.
He gets a ring.
Isaiah gets a ring too, right?
Ooh, wow.
Oh, yeah, Isaiah. How about that?
Isaiah ring.
Yeah.
This is offseason value right there. After
I mean-
all,
Champion.
NBA champion, Isaiah
Leader.
Thomas.
You think Wade regrets being down here and not in Cleveland right now?
Oh, wow. He should have gone straight
I think
there.
Cleveland regrets that deal. They could use a Dwayne Wade right now.
Mm.
Yeah, I think things actually went pretty well for Dwayne Wade. That was a good move.
Yeah.
Solid. Unless they win. Look, it's a win-win because now they can win a championship and he still gets a ring.
Yeah.
Cleveland could use Dwayne Wade. That's true, given that they're not playing any of the guys they traded for at the deadline, and Wade wouldn't give him much. The hopeless situation that the Cavs are in is, you do remember, right, last year, that they're never in the history of the sport have 2 guys played as well as LeBron James and Kyrie Irving did in those finals and been blown out like that, or even lost, really.
Right.
Like, if you play the way Kyrie Irving and LeBron did in last year's finals, you always win throughout the history of the sport. And they got smoked, and now they don't have Kyrie Irving.
Right. But this Golden State team doesn't appear to be as good, right, as it was last year.
But this Cleveland team is appreciably less
No doubt.
good if you take Kyrie Irving, and every time he was scoring 40 points in that series, and
You're
you
right.
just eliminate it. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have the ability to get that from where? Where are you going to get that from?
Oh, you're not going to get it from anyone, right?
I mean, Kevin Love, maybe, if he goes crazy.
Right.
There are plenty of times that I've watched the Cavs this playoff run where I'm saying to myself, they could absolutely use Dwayne Wade here. And they were getting all sorts of praise for that move, but there was a lot of times during this playoff season where you were looking for somebody with guts, somebody to do something other than LeBron James, and you know Dwayne would have done it. You know he's been there. Yep. You know he's got the guts.
Yep.
Jordan Clarkson. I mean, give me a break. You riding in a battle with Jordan Clarkson, you get what you deserve.
He didn't play in Game 7,
You
did
get
he?
what you deserve. Trade one of the game's greatest players, arguably the second greatest shooting guard in NBA history. That's right. I know you Kobe stands out there. He's the second greatest shooting guard of all time at the top of his game, Dwayne Wade is. And you disrespect him like that for a second-round pick? Out of here.
I thought you had an excellent tweet while you were in Boston that didn't get enough praise, where you tweeted out, I found the Joseph A. Bank where Gordon Hayward bought his suits before the press conference when he made the worst decision of his life.
It's an NBA landmark. It truly is.
Every deck is made for standing on, but there's only one that's always had a way of standing out. So if you're looking to bring more style, comfort, and creativity to your life outdoors, call on the brand that's known for making the most in outdoor living. From decking, railing, and lighting to furniture, fencing, and framing. At Trex, we're engineering what's next in outdoor living. To learn more about all of the outdoor solutions Trex has to offer, call 1-800-289-TREX or visit Trex.com. That's TREX.com.
Don Batard. Hip-hop surpassed rock and roll as music's most consumed genre. Yes. R&B accounted for 8 of the 10 most popular artists based on total consumption. Drake and Kendrick Lamar claim the top 2 spots with Future, The Weeknd, Eminem, and Lil Uzi Vert.
Uzi?
The hell is that?
Stugotz.
Anyway, Uzi was among the other acts cracking the top 10. Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran were the only...
For the love of God, man. I don't know what to do with that.
I don't
know what to do with that.
When he was popular, I knew his name.
This is as close to equality as we've ever been as a country.
Wait a minute. We have reached the moment of harmony in America, finally. It's the whitest and the blackest we've ever been together merged. He can get both names equally wrong, whether you're Ed Sheeran or Uzi Vote.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
Hey, 80s heartthrob Rick Springfield, what is your 15th favorite color?
Oh, no. Hey. Didn't you forget how we did this?
I mean, he's there. He's waiting. He knows what good music is. I don't want to play our crappy imaging.
Yeah, we got to play the open.
Yep.
Springfield's favorite colors: orange, yellow, purple, pink, blue, magenta, green. Will he choose which color? 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 Will he choose today?
Been on hold for a while, man.
9 weeks. Rick Springfield, what is your 15th favorite color?
Burgundy.
Okay.
Worth
Very
the wait.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good. So 20 is scarlet, 19 is purple, 18 is mango, 17 is puce, 16 is apricot, and now you have number 15.
Aqua?
So, do you feel old when you see that Pudge Rodriguez's kid is playing for the Giants?
Oh, 100%. How could you not? Is he really?
Yeah, he's a pitcher. He's got long hair. He's got tattoos. His father was the young catcher. His father was always the young catcher, played 10 years as the young catcher because he started at 19. And now Pudge Rodriguez's son is a big league pitcher. Put it on the poll, Guillermo. Do you feel old watching Pudge Rodriguez's kid pitch for the Giants? Look at this texter, Stugotz. Let's come down, everyone, and take off those rose-tinted glasses and fanboy jerseys. Wade is an all-time great, but the 4 best shooting guards in order are 1, Jordan, 2, Bryant, 3, West, Wade, 4. So this guy wants you to take off your rose-tinted glasses and fanboy jersey by putting him 2 spots ahead of where this guy puts him with all of his objectivity.
Those 2 spots are big, though, Dan.
I mean, come on,
listen to the difference between 2 and 4. I mean,
it's hair splitting, and I don't understand.
3.
Do not understand why people argue about this stuff this way. I understand it, actually, once upon a time, when you couldn't look these things up. Once upon a time when there could be no winner on whatever the argument is, you could just argue in a bar about it without having facts and say, no, Kobe Bryant's better than Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade is better than Kobe Bryant. But now you can look up all the efficiencies. You've got all the metrics. You've got their entire resumes in front of you. You can go look at it, and when you put them side by side, it will be splitting hairs.
Jerry West guy is my favorite guy. That dude cracks me up. I wonder what his favorite Jerry West memory is.
Right.
All the times he's watched Jerry West play.
But the point on that, though, is that he is doing with Jerry West what I'm asking you to do with Wade and Kobe. Just go look at their body of work. You'll be able to compare all of them.
He is the logo, Mike. I mean, ain't Kobe. Not Wade. It should be Jordan, but right now it's Jerry West.
Guillermo, put on the poll. Should the league change the logo to Jordan?
They should. You know, it's funny because, Mike, I'm with you on the Jerry West guy. I keep saying Chris Paul's not a top 10 point guard of all time, so I actually put pen to paper, and what happens is every time I do this, Bob Cousy lands at 10, and I can't because I look at the numbers. He shot like 32% from the field, and I can't put Bob Cousy ahead of Chris Paul, so I am searching for a 10th. I have 9 that no one would argue, but I cannot go with Bob Cousy as my 10th. I can't do it.
This day and age, you should just do that in your notepads. You don't got to go pen to paper.
Yeah, but it feels good. It feels so much better writing pen to paper and pencil to paper. Oh, a good pencil. I'm talking like old school pencil.
Right.
Like the one you put in the sharpener. Yeah. Then when you make a mistake, you erase it. Oh, there's nothing like a good pencil sharpening, Dan.
The classic number 2 pencil. But, Bill, I need a couple of pieces of paper under the original piece of paper I'm writing on to get that feeling. Yes, to get that feeling.
Nothing worse than a mechanical pencil. The
worst.
lead snaps,
the worst. Yeah, it always breaks.
Oh,
yeah,
it's the worst.
And you smell it right after?
Give it a blow.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, I should have blown on it first. Now I got sawdust in my nose.
Oh,
the blow.
Oh, yeah. Smell this, Chris. Come here. Take a look.
Here, I got one.
You want to? Here, smell this, Mike.
Oh, a fresh one. Go.
Wow.
Fresh pencil.
This brand new pencil.
Oh, yeah. Do it.
Oh, you got to use it one of these days.
Old school crank one. Hand crank.
Wow, look at that.
Here, sniff that. Roy, take a whiff. Mahogany.
Thank you.
Yeah. Allison actually put up a picture on Twitter that her hotel room had an old school pencil sharpener in it, which is really strange.
Were you at a B&B?
Did you stay in a school?
Guitar?
We have microphones. You can come and tell cool stuff into.
Like, not the one that was connected to the wall, like you turn it yourself. She's not talking about one of those. Is she? Get out of here.
It was like attached to a desk.
It was fastened to a desk. Was it ironic?
Wow. All right, come.
Hold on.
Was it a hotel pencil?
Can we just pause for a second? Allison, how long have you been on radio? Like, how do you forget that in order to speak in radio, we need you near a microphone? How have you
been off for a few days? She's rusty.
Have you worked in radio longer than any of us?
I think so.
Than all of us.
Since like 93.
Yep.
What are you doing shouting from a corner of the room?
Well, I just said yes. I confirmed. That's it.
What room were you staying in New York that was filled with what?
It had a pencil sharpener. It had like an old school pencil sharpener.
A hand crank pencil sharpener.
They had like
with
old
pencils.
School,
with pencils
on the desk. There was
that's a nice move. I like that.
A record player. Old school records were there. There was an old school fridge with boxed water.
You stayed at the Cody?
No. Did I say there was a guitar? There was a guitar in the room.
What else would be in the Cody Hotel? Let's do this. Let's do this. And hey everybody, I've got a big weekend planned. I'm staying at the Cody. What else? Like a hand? How much? Clearly, you've got a phonograph, right? You've got a phonograph.
Rotary phone.
Yes.
Abacus.
Well, no, it's not a rotary phone. It's one of those phones you pick up and you just put to your ear, like one of those cans that I don't even know what those are called. There's just it's a string and a. It's not even a rotary phone. I like that as idea. If this is a classy hotel, I like the idea of old school pencil sharpener with pencils to do what you guys are just saying. People like doing that. People like sharpening pencils, and to give people that ability is a nice touch. But if you're staying in a cheap place that isn't doing it for class, they're just doing it because it was left over from the 50s, that's worse.
It's called a tin can telephone.
Do people like sharpening pencils, or is that just a weird thing we do? Can we poll the people?
I got to tell you, our pencil sharpener didn't sound real efficient or strong. Our pencil sharpener sounded like we were trying to throw a human body in a wood chipper.
No, you need to warm it up, and then it has this thing on the front for whatever reason. Look how much sawdust there is in there. Of course, that's the problem right there. Hold
Each
on.
room has a shoehorn.
How does Dan know what that sounds like?
It's weird. It's strange. Oh yeah.
Sounds like that.
Oh.
Seems fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is a nice sharp right there. That is a sharp.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point in that.
Poke an eye out with this thing.
Remember when in school you had to be in charge of emptying it?
I hated that. There were so many tasks in school that I didn't like. Line leader was number one. Everyone wanted to be line leader, right? Line leader was the top. Oh
Chalk.
yeah,
The chalk.
The chalk. That was a punishment.
Yeah,
Wasn't that a punishment?
You had. I actually enjoyed it because I liked the smell of.
Did you ever put the chalk in your hair so you look like you have white hair? And you're like, I'm old, and then you like walk around.
And then
like
when someone would turn their back, you would put the eraser on their back, and they'd have a chalk mark, and like a stupid idiot not know.
Did you guys play Silent Dynamite with the erasers?
Oh,
do you not remember Silent Dynamite, Dan? Dan, do you know what Silent Dynamite is?
I do not.
Silent Dynamite, I believe this is Silent Dynamite. There's so many games for when it rained in PE. Mm-hmm. So you sit on the top of your desk, and you have the board eraser, and you got to throw it across the room at people. And if you fumble, you drop it, you're out. And you just keep going until there's one person standing. But you can't throw it back to the person that threw it to you unless it's just the two of you left.
Did you want to do announcements? Did you want to do announcements when you were in school?
Oh, morning announcements were prime position.
Too nervous for that.
What was another great? 7-Up, another great when it's raining outside.
Four corners.
4 corners.
Guys, elementary school kids, if you're listening right now, here's the strategy for 4 corners. Go back to the same corner almost every time. Yeah. The kids never pick the same corner back to back to back times. Mm. Then eventually, and if you're like a boss 4 corner, like heads down guy, and you have to choose it, you just keep going 4, 4, 4, 4, and you pick these people off one by one because these kids are so dumb and they don't think that you're going to go to the same number over and over again. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, boom, done, game over, no one's left.
A hat rack.
Oh yeah, you gotta have a hat rack at the Cody, at the old Cody Hotel, for sure.
What was the game where you put your head down and I have my thumb up?
That's 7-Up. Yeah.
That was the best.
How did that game work?
Someone would touch your pinky and you'd have to put it down, your thumb, and then you would have to put it down.
How did that game work?
How did that game?
I just remember.
I remember knock hockey.
I remember.
Ooh, you remember knock hockey?
So dangerous.
Knock hockey, very dangerous. Yeah. Very dangerous game. How'd that game get approved?
I almost took out my sister's eye playing knock hockey with my cousin because we altered the game of knock hockey and we got the puck and we held up the knock hockey rink and would just throw the puck from across the room. And she was walking by one time, and it went through the slit, and it hit her right above the eye, and she had the biggest chichon I've ever seen.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
A typewriter?
Oh, totally a typewriter.
Yeah. I remember the main point of 7-Up was finding out who touched your thumb, because I remember I would cheat. I would be looking at the feet of people that were walking by.
Of course you cheated.
Oh,
yeah.
You're a cheater.
You had to get it right.
You did not have to cheat.
You know what game was super dangerous for field day that they shouldn't allow? Red Rover. You're essentially clotheslining the crap out of a kid.
Field day was
Red Rover, send Fat Chris on over.
Yes.
And he would have to run into our interlocked arms while we'd be holding each other. Like Roy and I are arm's length apart. We're holding our arms.
Go, run, Chris.
And he would have to run full speed and try to break our human chain.
Oh.
But we would just clothesline him, give him the business, and he wouldn't be able to.
A cigarette vending machine in the lobby.
Yeah, and Tab. There's Tab in the vending machine, too.
This is your bedroom. This is your bedroom with Blue Chew. Blue Chew uses the same active ingredients as in Viagra or Cialis, but now comes in chewable form. Chewable means better, cheaper, and works faster than pills. No in-person doctor visit, no waiting in line, no more awkwardness. 100% online at BlueChew.com, where your first order is free. Just pay $5 shipping. Use promo code DAN at BlueChew.com and restart the party.
Dan Batard.
Put it up on the poll. Should we talk to LeVar Ball on Monday to ask him for a refund on our Big Baller shoes and treat him as customer service?
No refunds. Expensive costs. Stugotz.
Wait a minute. It was too early. I was waiting for the end of the segment. Why'd you blurt in there?
I was so excited when I found out cost rhymes with lost, and I get to do never lost. Expensive costs.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
If you fall asleep watching TV in your room at the Cody Hotel, you get awakened by the national anthem playing loudly on the TV just before the station goes offline. Does anyone remember that when television just stopped at 2 o'clock in the morning?
You guys remember the triangle game where it's like a fortune teller where I'm going back and forth with my fingers?
You would have to count. I never knew how to even make that.
You'd say a color, and if you said blue, it's like I do 4 times. BLUE. Yeah. And then I go to, then you say a number, and then I do that amount of times. Oh, and then by the end, it tells you where you're going to live, if you're going to be in a mansion.
You always had to find the girl in your class and make that because none of the guys knew how to actually make the thing.
Right.
Wow. It was like really, it was laborious to do that game. It was fun playing it, but I don't know who could even make that. What is that thing called in that triangle game? You had to use like all
some
sorts
sort of origami thing?
Yeah, it was an origami thing. Let's find out what that game was, please.
Rabbit ear television.
There was that game MASH, which would be like mansion, apartment, or something like that, and you would use that to predict your future. And you'd say, okay, you'd live in a mansion with Jessica, and you'd have 3 kids.
What was your go-to game in the pool?
Ooh.
My top 2 were Marco Polo and toothpaste.
What is toothpaste?
You guys don't know toothpaste.
No.
It's this game where one person's at one end of the pool, everyone else is at the rest. I say a category, let's say cereal. You guys all pick a cereal, and then I start rattling. I'm facing away from the group. I start rattling off cereals. If I say your cereal, you have to very quietly swim to my end of the pool without me noticing.
You cheated at Marco Polo.
You're such a cheater.
You cheated at Marco Polo.
You're such a fish out of water.
Yeah.
You are fish out of water.
All the time calling fish out of water.
All over you. It's all over your face.
You're going to go to jail one day, you know.
That's true.
A wash basin.
What is that?
Fish out of water written all over you.
I found the instructions how to make
the best.
Oh, yeah. Sweet. Now, what was the actual point? That was a fortune telling.
It just says paper fortune teller. That can't be the name. It had to have. Did you guys do taquitos? Do you know what taquitos are?
I know what taquitos are. They're delicious.
Yeah, they're delicious.
No. So
they're amazing.
We had
you put them in the oven.
Taquitos and satellites. So taquitos were like
never microwave a taquito.
So taquitos and satellites were a taquito was basically like a piece of paper and it was folded like really hard. And then it turned into like this L-shaped type thing, and then you'd attach it to a rubber band. And you just shoot it at people.
Oh yes, yes, I didn't know that.
And then satellites, where you'd take the eraser out of the back of a pencil, and you'd stick a bunch of staples in it, like staples that are open, and then you'd throw it up and you'd try to get it stuck in the roof.
Yeah.
Oil paintings of aristocrats.
I would do that the other way with the pencil and try to get that stuck in the ceiling. Yeah. We can't do that in this ceiling. No. Whatever happened to those ceilings? Are those types of ceilings just exclusive to office buildings and schools?
They probably cause all kinds of cancer and are like outlawed now.
Yeah, probably.
If you're still using a microwave in this day and age and not a toaster oven, I don't know what to do with you. What is good for, like, a microwave is good for nothing except for popcorn. Absolutely. Everything, a toaster oven will make everything better.
What fits in a toaster oven?
Any kind of bread with cheese, you can melt cheese on it.
Toaster ovens are super tiny.
Everything is soggy with a microwave.
A fountain pen.
Oh yeah, with a bottle of ink.
Yes.
With a bottle of ink, a feather quill.
You can't make like these little mac and cheeses that I have. You can't heat those up in a microwave. You can't reheat food.
Well, those are gross.
But you can't reheat real food. Leftovers. You can't do leftovers in a toaster.
I'm really talking about anything with bread. Like pizza,
that's different.
Toast, anything like that. A microwave is just going to make it soggy. A toaster oven is where you're at.
I want a microwave because it really jacks up the molecules in what you're eating. It just totally refracts everything inside. Right. And to me, it kind of feels a little dangerous, but that's true science rather than just a light that gets hot.
Uh-huh. Only loaves of bread, no slices.
Oh, yeah, and room service only serves soup.
You know, Allison sometimes brings in this, like, it's basically like she cooks bread. It's like muffins, right? Like microwavable muffins that she has that look kind of disgusting, but she loves them.
You just add water to it and then they rise.
You guys get all over me over weird things I eat. The stuff that she brings in sometimes is just insane.
A heart-shaped vibrating bed.
Oh.
Doesn't she like this gourmet cookie dough?
Yes.
Yeah, that comes in like a peanut butter.
But it's good because, it's edible. Regular cookie dough you're not supposed to eat. If you eat cookie dough, like, you're risking, like, getting sick.
I still do it.
I've always heard that, and
I do too. I like living on the edge.
Sometimes you gotta roll the dice.
It's the most dangerous thing I do.
Is it?
It's fantastic.
Easily the most dangerous thing I do.
Everyone says it's dangerous. My tummy never hurt.
Oh, wow.
I have a tummy of a goat when it comes to eating cookie dough.
Boys, I'm getting close to the paper fortune teller.
Okay, but what goes in the fortune teller? Like, isn't there a spiral, or there's a sequence of numbers?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, but what does it spell out?
It's nothing.
Am I going to find out
numbers.
who I'm going to marry when I get older?
No, I think you can put anything in it.
That was the point of all these games, finding out who you're marrying.
Carpeted walls.
Is that how you decided to propose to your wife? Is because the paper fortune teller told you?
Well, no, MASH. I use MASH.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Who were the losers in MASH? Do you remember?
Who were the losers? Well, you never wanted to live in the apartment or the shack. Right. You always wanted to get the mansion.
But is that what the S was? The shack?
Yeah.
I'm saying you married your wife as a result of MASH, but what happened to the losers of that game? Like, did they become anything? Did you actually win MASH in real life?
No. There were so many people that I married in a mansion or lived with in a shack. I kind of forget all of them.
A spittoon. All right, all of us to the penalty box. All of us right now to the penalty box. There's so many people writing in. What are you guys doing? What are they talking about? Why are you confusing us?
We're all going?
Yes, all of us again to the penalty box.
Right.
2 minutes. You know what, Mike? 5-minute major. Play a 5-minute song for what we just did. A 5-minute song. Find Stairway to Heaven. 5-minute song. Find anything that's 5 minutes.
I got more on microwaves.
So we're going to keep fighting on the ice as everyone gets sent away? Incidentally, hockey must be so mad that basketball is getting all the attention. Hockey is so much fun. The last 2 minutes of that game last night were crazy.
What a save.
The last 2 minutes of that game last night were as good as anything sports can give you with those kind of stakes.
That should be the analysis. What a save.
Look, I did it. Look. Can you hear it?
You made one.
BLUE. All right, now give me a number.
6.
Oh, I didn't label these. Hold on.
Everyone to the penalty box, $2.
You remember when sodas cost 60 cents?
Oh, yeah.
There was a hike from 50 cents.
Yeah.
Where am I going to find a dime?
Oh, my God. Seriously.
It was an outrage.
Sometimes if you check the change thing, there'd be an extra dime in there.
Or sometimes you'd get super lucky and you'd find the weird machine and you just hit it and boom, out comes a root beer. You didn't ask for it, but you know what? It's free. You're not going to complain.
Right. Yeah.
Did you ever, like a really cool kid, like a super badass kid, shake up the can, bang it against your knee and just have this constant spray go into your mouth and you'd just be be chilling on the bench, like, what's up, girl? I just have this, like, constant spray
You
of
probably
cherry
had
Coke.
so much on your hand that was, like, dripping down.
No, there was some times where you hit it too hard against your knee. I got a little cut one time. I had to explain that to my mom.
Wow, are you okay?
Who fills these machines? Because they're always empty.
Oh, I would always try to talk to
Always out of order.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well. The cherry Coke was a hot seller.
Yeah.
Also, Surge. You remember Surge?
Oh, wow.
I remember was that an old wives' sale that Surge killed your sperm count? Because that's what they always said about Surge.
Ginger ale, always available. Always available.
There's some ginger ales at Florida Christian High School right now that have been there since 1987.
And they're probably still good.
Bedpan.
Surge didn't kill your sperm
Chris strikes
cells,
me as
though.
someone that would shake the machine to try to get stuff for free and break the machine.
Oh, like not sodas, obviously, but the candy? Yeah. I mean, if it's hanging over the edge, like...
Oh, remember how exciting it would be when there was a can redesign? When Cherry Coke went all 90s?
Yeah, and you thought it'd be better and it was exactly the same thing.
No, but it would work. The marketing strategy would work because you would buy the Cherry Coke that looked like art. Also, Crystal Pepsi.
You
don't remember?
I remember. It was like water.
Throwback. Crystal Pepsi. It had that Van Halen song.
They brought it back.
As a market. Yeah, it had, right. You remember what a big deal Crystal Pepsi was? Oh my god, it was terrible. I was always so disappointed by Crystal Pepsi, but the commercials rock so hard.
Absolutely.
When I think of commercials of Pepsi, I think of Rookie of the Year. You got the right one, baby!
Wow. I thought you were going to go Britney Spears.
But it was a Diet Pepsi, right? Diet Pepsi.
Pepsi always had better commercials than Coke, right? Pepsi always had better commercials, but Coke, I'm a Coke man.
Coca-Cola Classic.
Coke all day.
Pepsi's
get commercials.
You know what I read the other day? That the person who wrote the I'm Lovin' It theme for McDonald's was Pusha T.
What?
Yeah. There's
Google
that. We're going full circle on this, but I believe Pusha T.
In the gym, one of those jiggling fitness belts.
The joy. Like, why didn't they let the guy from Rookie of the Year go back to his friends? Yeah, let him go. They worked him enough on this commercial.
His stepdad was such a jerk. Such a jerk. His stepdad.
If you haven't watched Ozark, I can't get over the dude that Jason Bateman's wife is having an affair with is a stepfather from Rookie of the Year, who, in my estimation, top 10 movie villain of all time.
Oh, yeah,
just
absolutely.
in terms of just vile creature. Hated that stepfather. Great lid, though. Salt and pepper.
Respect
where it's due.
Yeah.